All right, red light means we're live. Welcome, Fight Bananas fans. I have with me fucking Skeletor, Jojo Giannetti, which, if to non-MMA fans, that sounds like a mob name. Jojo Giannetti.
Yeah,
Hell
it's pretty
yes.
Italian.
I'm so excited. This motherfucker pulled his car over to talk to us, so it's quite an honor. I'm super excited. I've got a couple questions that I have, and then I have a couple of questions that fans want to answer. So there's going to be some cheesy questions, and there's going to be some fucking professional questions. Are you ready?
Okay, I can do that.
All right, let's get warmed up. Let's talk about your nickname. Obviously,
Okay.
came from Masters of the Universe, right?
So it was
Yeah.
cut weight. My buddies would.
Nickname should be Laggy. You should call you Jojo Laggy Giannetti.
I know. Now I got a buddy calling me. I told you my timing is the worst. But I declined them. But so when I would cut weight when I was an amateur, my buddies would always make fun of me. So I didn't lift a lot of weights. Like I had just started. And so my face would get even more sucked out than it is now. And they would always be like, "Oh, you look like Skeletor." And we'd always laugh about it. And then my second amateur fight, one of the commentators was like, "What's your nickname?" And I was like, "I don't know. Go ask my coach." So he went over to my coach, and then I went into the cage not knowing what it was going to be. And they announced me as Skeletor. And I was like, "Oh, no way." And so I said to my coach after I won, I was like, "Hey, did you like talk to my buddies like about the name?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "You really had no idea they were calling me Skeletor?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "All right, well, I guess that's it."
That's fucking just you owned it. You're like, you know what? They're making fun of me. I'm gonna own it. That's fucking
hilarious. It had a great
hilarious.
time in the moment, but I was like, "Wow, they must have talked about it." He was like, "No, it just fit."
See, fucking fate, man. And a nickname, a fighter's nickname is like, that's like your free bird. You know what I mean? That shit.
Yeah, it gets thrust upon you.
All right, so you're Skeletor. Also, Masters of the Universe is fucking badass. So that's just flawless. You're 7-0. Your amateur record is 7-0, right?
Yep.
That's fucking awesome, dude. You've got a good record. You're a fucking great fighter.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to see you cage side. So I'll be up close.
Okay.
I want to know. This is a fan question. I want to know who you fight for when you get into the cage. Like, who do you fucking? Whose purpose is this? Do you fight for yourself? Do you fight for a family member? Like, what is your purpose in the cage?
I mean, it changes from fight to fight and camp to camp. As of lately, since losing on Tough and being cut, like I went through so much emotionally between like, certain people walking out of my life, certain people just like flipping the switch on me. And I was fighting for other people, and I realized that I was fighting for nobody that was important. Like I was fighting for people that have no weight and no control in my life, and I started just fighting for myself. Like when I go out there, it's just for me. It's all me, because at the end of the day, win or lose, like I know now the people that are in my life are going to love me win or lose, so I don't need to fight for them. So I know that I'm hard on myself, and I'm going to be mad at myself if I go out there and I don't perform. So me and my girlfriend got a thing. When I'm walking out to fight, I don't look at her. I don't look at her. She doesn't exist to me. And we've talked about it because I've walked out to fights, and like I've seen her, and I've seen the fear on her face, because obviously she's about to see me get into a fight, and it does something to me, because like I feel like I'm putting her through something, and it makes me more human. As weird as it sounds, like I feel more like vulnerable. So like when I walk out, I don't look at my friends, I don't look at my family, I don't look at my girlfriend. It's just I look at my opponent, I get in the cage, and I'm like, I want to make sure that tonight, when I'm drinking my beer, I'm going to be happy win or lose. As long as I go out there, I do what I train to do, and I do my best, I'll be happy, because I already know everybody in my life nowadays is going to be by my side no matter what.
That's what sets you apart, dude. That's fucking awesome.
I used to feel different. I used to fight, like I used to be around people that I would literally be walking out going, well, if I lose, like they're not going to want to hang out. They're not going to be my friend, da da da. And then, I lost at the finale, and that's exactly what happened. Certain people walked out of my life, and I was like, we've been friends for 10 plus years. And now I'm realizing like we weren't really friends.
Right. That's important to go through though, because now you're fighting for yourself, and your success is going to be yours. And those people will be like, fuck, I wish I shouldn't have walked out.
I'm petty too. I'm petty. I'll wait, and I'll text them back and be like, yeah, man, go kick rocks.
You get to be petty. You fucking step into the octagon. Fuck them. But it's important to go through stuff like that. And also, just a note, you may have lost at the finale, but you lost by a very razor thin decision against someone who's fighting on Saturday. You didn't lose to like a nobody. You came extremely close to winning, so that says a lot. And it's
so that's one of those fights. That's one of those fights where like I used to hate that fight. I didn't watch that fight for like a year because I hated it. And I didn't hate it because I lost. That's one of those fights where everybody's like, man, you only lost by a little bit. But nobody realizes how poorly I performed and how I was so capable of so much more that night. That's why I hate that fight, because that's one of those fights that I look back and I go, I lost by a razor close decision on one of my worst nights. What would have happened if I fought my best? So that's why that's one of my things now is just go out and do my best. And I think when I do my best, there's not many guys that beat me, if any.
That's fucking awesome. Yes, dude. That's why my money's on you this fucking Saturday, Cage Titans. But the loss, I mean, you took a lot more away from the loss because you found out who your real people were. If you won, you'd still be hanging around those fake people. And that's, you know, you've got real ones behind you now and you're here to dominate. I'm so excited. Fucking title defense. That's just badass. And you've been with Cage Titans since what, 2014, right?
Yeah, like a year after I graduated high school, I started my amateur career with them.
That's a long time, dude. That's a long
Yeah,
fucking time.
it kind of flew by. I've been looking back at it, and like, especially my last fight when I was getting back after I took a year off just to train and improve. And you know, everybody's like, "Oh, like this is Joe's run, da 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 da." And I get in the locker room and I see amateurs that are like 27, 26. I see pros that are like 31, 32. And I'm like, I was on the Ultimate Fighter at 22 years old. Like
22.
Yeah, like I still have so much time. Like I'm still like I'm main eventing Cage Titans, and I'm still younger than the amateurs on this card. Like I have so much time still.
You have so much time, and you've already done so much. That's why it's fucking so cool. You were on the Ultimate Fighter at 22 years old, a year after you're legally allowed to drink. That's like bananas. And not only like you fought some fucking fierce competition with Tough, and you fucking dominated. You're fucking 22, you know what I mean? So just having the discipline to do that, and like that's just bananas to me. Like I couldn't wait to get you on the show to fucking talk you up, because like you're still so young. Most people like just start out now, you know what I mean? There's a lot of guys on the prelim cards who like are a lot older than you are, and they don't fight with such ferocity. So I mean, it's an honor to be in your presence, and you're going for a title defense on Saturday. That's fucking dope. I can't wait, man.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to
sold out, dude. Sold out.
I know. I'm hyped. It'll be a good show. You know, I know towards the end of the night, everybody's ready. They're getting antsy. They're done sitting. They want to go party. But I promise the people that stick around are in for a good show.
A lot of people are coming to see you. So
yeah, I sold a lot of tickets this time around. This place is going to be bumping.
There's no doubt. I'm going to be there fucking screaming my head off. I can't wait. So yeah, that's huge. And you trained with AKA, right? So you've got some high level training experience.
Yeah, and you know, I just committed to it. You know, I lived at the gym, and I trained all day, and then I had another gym that I was going to in California just to lift and do cardio. So that was it. I was out there just to be full-time fighter, and I got some of the best work in the world. I'm getting work with guys that, you know, UFC fighters want to go work with. So it's like I'm getting that leg up on the competition.
That's fucking awesome. And you're still like I said, dude, you could be partying, drinking, but no, you're doing cross-country trips to get good training in. Like, dude, you drove across the country, what was it, on Saturdays into Sunday?
Yeah, I got back in town with the
2-foot snowstorm. Like,
yeah, I caught the end of it. It was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. That was wild. But yeah, so you put the time in, and you're still so cool, calm, and collected, and you've got your priorities right. You definitely have a leg up on this fight coming up on Saturday. So I want to know, give us a slight breakdown without revealing too much. Give us a breakdown of your opponent right now, like how you feel.
I feel like it's funny because I was telling somebody this the other day. I've actually been like in some of my own comments, like defending him because people look at his record. He's only 10-8, and they're like, "Oh, he's 10-8. Like Joe's gonna smoke him." And I'm like, I might. Like that'd be nice if I walk out and smoke him, but it's not gonna be because he sucks. Like I want to fight him because So I fought for a vacant Cage Titans lightweight title because the former lightweight champ wouldn't fight me. He had ducked me for like 2 years, and then he went and fought for a different promotion, and he lost to Jacob Bond. So as soon as he lost to Bond, like Bond was on my radar. I was like, I want to beat that guy because he's the guy now. Like you beat the Cage Titans champ. It might not have been for the Cage Titans belt, but you're the guy now. And so now it's come full circle, like 2 years later, that I have the belt and he's gonna fight me for it. So like a lot of people are like, oh, this is Joe's first title defense, but like to me, like this just solidifies like this is mine. Like I am the champ because I look at Bond like he's the guy, and I'm taking it from him, not the other way around.
Right. That's epic, dude. I mean, it's just crazy to me that you're going into a title defense, lightweight, main fucking card, and there's also now history behind the fight. And not to like give too much credit, this is your interview, but people again look at records and they think that's the end all. They don't see who they've fought, who they've lost to, who they've won against. So, that's a big part, and that's why you can't underestimate any opponent. It's MMA, anything can happen, But
100%. I've seen guys with even worse records beat guys that were undefeated. That's why people love this sport, because literally anything can happen.
I know. I'm typically on the end that I usually roll with the underdog because I'm like, yeah, everyone's counting him out. This is MMA. It's not over. But yeah, so you're feeling good. Do you think you're gonna do you stick to your grappling, you stick to striking?
I think this fight's gonna go everywhere. I don't think that I'm really a specialist. I don't think Bond's really a specialist. I think we're both well-rounded and comfortable everywhere. I think that there's spots where Bond's style, if you see some of my losses, like that his style has given me trouble. I don't think that'll be the case anymore. I think I'm going to catch him by surprise in a lot of different areas.
That's awesome. It's just you have an advantage in almost every field in terms of, I don't know, your dedication, your drive, and also professional, So you're not just going to some random gym and hitting the bag. You're being trained by high level guys. So I'm really excited. Cage Titans is not the end all, even though it's huge, and I'm a big Cage Titans fan. But like you've got the draw, you've got the appeal. Where do you want to go from here? Are you trying to go UFC? You trying to go PFL, LFA?
We're gonna go back to the UFC one day, but like I've been telling people, I had a couple buddies in California that were like, "How many more do you think you get back in?" And I was like, "Who cares?" Like at 22, I was on the Ultimate Fighter, and even though it was just the finale, I signed a UFC contract and I fought a UFC bout. Like I've done what most guys' dreams are already. Making the UFC was never my dream. Being in the UFC and being successful was my dream. So if I don't get signed to the UFC for 2-3 more years, that's fine by me, because when I do get there, I want to run through everybody. I don't want to get there, get a little bit of clout, win 2 fights, lose 2 fights, and go home. Like I want to go and run it. And that's the difference between me and a lot of these guys, is like they make the UFC and they're like, oh, I made it. And it's like, no, you just got your foot in the pool. Like you still got to swim to the deep end.
Right.
And I think that's the thing, is like I got in the pool and I got kicked out for Adult Swim, but I've grown up and I'm ready to get back in, and I'm ready to swim over to the deep end and take those dudes out.
Hell yeah. And I mean, UFC, what I like about you is you're interested in being successful on your talent. You're not interested in mix. Unfortunately, UFC has become a little bit more like WWE. Where it's like it's just like who's got the most draw. It's slowly hinting to that. But you're gonna make it there based on talent and because you fucking earned it. Which is the sport needs more fighters like you.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to make that my thing, is like in my entire life, I've never played a sport where someone's like, wow, like he's really like a standout at this sport, or like he's really picked it up. Like I've always been like average or just below average at every sport. MMA is like the first thing where I've like picked up and like everything's kind of made sense. And then I hit a little bump in the road and now I'm back to getting better. But like, there's plenty of guys in the UFC at my weight that I got my eyes on that run their mouth a lot, and I want to fight them, and I want the average man to be like, oh, that kid went his junior year of high school and didn't win a single match in wrestling. Like I want the average Joe to look at me and be like, oh, I can do that. And not in like a way like I suck, but like I'm just a normal person. Like anybody can do it, and I don't want to be that guy that runs his mouth and gets all this clout. I want the regular guy, the blue collar guy, to go, oh, I can do that, because they can. Like I work overnights, I work all the time. Like this shit sucks, but it's possible.
Oh, that is like so refreshing to hear. People think it's like 90% talent. Nah, it's like 30% talent and like 70% like work. You got to put the work in, and not many people are willing to do it, and you do.
I've met plenty of fighters, and I'll tell them all the time. I've met plenty of fighters that are so much better than I am that don't fight anymore because they don't want to work hard. And I'm like, I never would have believed it because it's one of the corniest things. Like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I thought was the corniest line I've ever heard. And now I'm living it, and I've seen plenty of people that I'm like, wow, that dude might kick my ass. Doesn't even fight anymore. Doesn't even train. Trains once, twice a week. They just don't want to put that work in anymore. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm around longer than them just because I want to work hard. And I think that's something a lot of people underestimate.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just think that's something that people underestimate. Is they're like, oh, this dude's really good. Like, he's going to make it. And it's like, okay, but how long is he going to be there for?
It's like, a lot of hype is allowed. The fans, a lot of the fans don't see or acknowledge when the lights are not on you guys, and the amount of work and money and time and sacrifice that is put into you guys getting your short 15 minutes in the cage. You know what I mean? They don't see that.
I'm so looking forward to win this fight and just get drunk and eat some junk food for the weekend. Like, I've tried to explain to people, like, these last 2 fight camps have been the 2 most expensive fight camps I've ever had. Obviously worth it, but like, I put myself so far financially in the hole to do these fight camps, and by the time I fight and sell tickets and sponsorships and t-shirts, I break even every single time. I either break even or I'm still one step behind the starting line. And like, I tell people it's because I'm looking forward to the future payoff, but like, it's not a guarantee. Like, I put myself back there and stress about it the whole time until I fight and win and get all this money just to break even and do it all over again.
It's fucking inspiring though, dude. I feel like I could go start a riot listening to you guys. It's just awesome. I want more people to hear what goes into you guys putting on a show, sacrificing your fucking entire body to fucking just be successful. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no,
people
it's
who are talking shit, go to their 9 to 5 and eat their junk food and say, "Oh, he fucking sucks. 10 and 8, fuck him." It's like, bro, you have no idea what goes into it. And
it's funny. Even after the Ultimate Fighter finale, like, I got so barraged on Twitter and Instagram with just like people talking shit and like hateful tweets and comments and stuff. And like, the first time I ever dealt with it in that mass number, it hit me. I was like, maybe I do suck. Like, there's like 15,000 people saying I suck. I was like, maybe I do suck. But like, I told all my friends how poor of a performance it was. Not like, oh, he beat me. Like, no, I performed poorly and could have done more. And ever since that fight, when I watch fights with my friends and a guy that's really good just goes out there and looks terrible, my friends would be like, oh, what a fucking bum. He looks awful. I'm like, no, he could be having a bad night. Like, I just watch fights so differently now because I was a fan before a fighter. So I want to be like, yeah, this guy sucks. And then I'm like, or he's having a bad night. Or his weight cut went to shit. Like, so many little things just change your entire night and nobody cares. You got to work with what you got.
It's tough being an MMA fan too. True MMA fan, because I fight with people every day like, you have no idea. You're talking so much shit and you have no idea.
They got no clue.
It's so annoying. But I would like you to send me a list of all the people who are talking shit so I can personally fucking crack some skulls. It's set afire. Fuck that. But I appreciate the way you sing. It's unbelievable. Your drive is kind of put you there alone. We're talking like we're talking to a current champ and a future champ in other promotions. Like, it's so exciting. And yeah, you've cut out all the bullshit, and just the lightweight division in UFC is they're dwindling out. Like, there's going to be a lot of, because the current lightweight people retiring.
There's going to be a lot of room on that roster for me soon.
What'd you say?
There's going to be a lot of room on that roster for me soon.
That's what I'm saying. So you're fucking getting your name with Cage Titans so you can be like, yo, I'm ready. That's friggin' awesome. And I know I don't want to keep you too long. I could talk to you fucking all night long. But
no rush.
Okay, good. Because you pulled over for us, which I appreciate. So
my friend was being late. I don't care.
I appreciate it. Who was the coolest person you met on Tough? Like, did you make? Are you still close to anybody that you connected with in The Ultimate Fighter?
The best character out of Tough, like I love telling people. I don't chase clout with anybody. I love telling people that I know Bryce Mitchell. He is just one of the funniest dudes ever. He's such a nice guy. He's so genuine. And there's just always a story when you're around him. Between like when we actually met at the Tough tryouts before we were on the show, and he gave me squirrel jerky, and he was giving me shit all day, like, brother, you got to try this. It's just like beef jerky. It's so good. And I'm like, I'm not eating squirrel jerky. And then like 3 other people tried it, and they were like, dude, it's pretty good. And he like looked at me with that look, and I was like, give me a friggin' piece. And I ate it. It was pretty good.
Where is he getting the fucking squirrels, dude?
Catches it himself. He catches it himself. He built himself what was it, like a meat smoker or dryer or both, but he dries out the meat, smokes it. It was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But like from that day I was like, damn, this dude's crazy, but I like him. And then we were on the show, we were on the same team, we were roommates. We were sitting around the campfire one of the first nights we were there, and he's whittling a branch he broke off a tree, and he's like, hey, hold this over the fire pit with me. And I'm like, why? He builds a bow and arrow. I was like, what are we doing?
Bro, we gotta put him on like a survival show.
For sure, he needs to be on the Bass Pro channel.
Honestly, or like, I don't know, like Alone in the Wild or something. That's fucking hilarious. I knew we were gonna talk about some cool shit, but squirrel jerky was not something I expected.
We were at Tough Trials for like, must have been 12 hours, and it took like 10 hours for me to finally cave. And then I was like, damn, bro, this is pretty good.
If Bryce is offering you squirrel jerky, you eat the fucking squirrel jerky.
You gotta take it.
We got big squirrels here in Boston too. I'm about to go catch myself one right now.
Oh, when we were at the Tough House, he was looking at like the pigeons and stuff, and he was like, I can catch one of them. I was like, bro, don't eat one of those. I was like, you don't want to eat that.
On TV right now, you don't eat pigeon. That's fucking great, man. I'm glad you connected with him. He sounds like a fucking funny dude.
Yeah, he's a super genuine dude. I'm looking forward to his next fight. He's got a tough one against Barboza. But I think if he takes Barboza out, it's going to be a big, like, a coming out party. I think he's going to blow up.
It's MMA, baby. Anything can happen. Can you imagine him taking out a big name like Barboza? And he just comes out with a fucking squirrel on a stick or something? Come on. It's fucking hilarious. What else to ask you about? I was waiting to ask this, and I'm glad I lasted 22 minutes, but it was like I was dying to ask. What was it like standing next to and talking to my fucking idol, Megan Levy? You were so cool, calm, and collected, and I'm like, this motherfucker is unfazed.
It was really cool. She's so good at her job. So when we did our interview, we did like a dual interview. It was like me and Trezano. And she pulled me to the side and was like, hey, so like production says that they think it'd be cool like to get both of you at once. Like, I didn't know if that would be like awkward. I don't want us to have a fight start during a press conference. I was like, I get paid to fight. We're good. And she was like, oh, okay. I just wanted to double check.
Dude, you had your hands in your pockets. You were like talking like you were talking to like your old friend. It was fucking so bad. I'm like, this dude is standing next to my idol, and he's just totally cool, calm, and collected. Like, it was just, I'm like, bro, I'd be sweating bullets. Like, I'd be simping. Oh my god, she's the fucking goat. And yeah, that's pretty cool.
She's so good at her job.
She's so good at her fucking job, and she loves it. She's just. She shared my story once, and I think I talked about it for like 3 months straight. It was just like the greatest moment of my life. My parents were like, "Who's Megan Levy?" I'm like, "You don't even know. She's a girl."
You have no idea.
She's fucking amazing, and I think it was a cool dynamic interviewing you both together because this isn't Russia. There's no like flying knee to the face during.
I've been watching those videos. I don't. Is that the fight, or is that supposed to be the press conference?
It's like just the face off, you know? And there's like every day there's a new video of someone getting like fucking completely knocked out.
I saw one today. The guy got head kicked, and then he sits down and he gets up and he runs over and like flying jump kicks the guy that kicked him.
The guys who are like in the middle, they're just like letting it happen too. It's like so it's hilarious. They're built different over there. But yeah, that was a cool interview. I watched that like 15 times. Just that was cool. Yeah, you were just so cool, calm, and collected, and it was like, dude, this guy's a legend. He's just meant for this. I want to know if you did find MMA, which thank God you did. What would you be doing? What would career path be?
I'd probably be a mechanic somewhere in some garage, just working on cars. I went to high school for auto mechanics, and it was more so just to work on my own cars. But yeah, if I didn't fight, that'd probably be what I'd go to.
All right. So if you start raking the bills, are you gonna like collect cars? Is that gonna be your side piece?
I want to. My dream, whether I have to restore it myself or I make it big one day and get to buy it, I want a 1964 and a half Ford Mustang in matte black.
In matte black?
Yes.
My fucking guitar is matte black, so I'm a big fan.
I love matte black.
Yeah, that's chic. That's
Yeah.
a power move. That's fucking dope. You went to school for mechanics, so you're good with your hands. That makes so much sense. You fucking whittling with rice over there. Well, is there anything else you wanna say? I've got a paper full of questions, but I don't want to keep you from your buddies.
You can keep asking. I want everybody to know that we're here to put on a show, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna do my best come fight night, and that's what you can bet your life on every fight night from now on. Is I'm gonna go out there and put on my best.
That's awesome. It's gonna be a really good fight. I kind of want to see it go to decision, obviously in your favor, but this decision's how to get the most out of every fight. So, and
For sure.
it's
It's funny. A lot of people see the fight going later. I was like, I'm ready to go 5 rounds, but a nice in and out, 17 seconds again, that'd be nice.
That's true. That's true. But like sometimes, like with flashy, quick knockouts, like it's that.
I know it's so anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's what the Just Bleed fans want. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sick of talking to fans who are like, just fucking hit each other. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, you have no
This
idea.
ain't the sport for you. Go watch bare knuckle or something. Like MMA ain't for you, man. Dude, I fight with people every day.
I've given up. I can't even do it. There's too many of them.
I know. I can't help myself though. I'm so petty. Because they just don't know what you guys go through. It's unbelievable, they just want to see you guys stand and bang. So like when shit goes to grappling and someone says it's boring, like I'll throw fists, man. So call it boring one more time. Grappling is a hard card. So watch you roll around the ground. You're clearly good at rolling around. So I would like to see some of that. But
hey, I'm down.
He's
a black belt, and I'm willing to test this black belt out.
You what?
He's a black belt, and I'm willing to test that black belt out. I tell people all the time, in gi, I'm only a purple belt, but in MMA jiu-jitsu, I myself am a self-promoted black belt.
I know belt. That black belt only tells part of the story. That just means you put the work in and check boxes. I'm not saying it's not impressive, but it does not. It does not mean everything. You know what I mean? There's been lower belts taking out upper belts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish you were a white belt and like submitted him. Hilarious. You got submitted by a white belt, bitch. But you're purple belt. Respect.
I am. One day I'll go brown.
You're gonna go brown?
One day.
Work on that? Like, are you interested in moving up on your belt?
Yeah, I've been slacking in the gi lately just because I've been trying to fight so much. But after this fight, I talked to my coaches. I'm gonna go back to training a lot more gi and work on that belt.
I think Dustin Poirier, he's a brown belt, isn't he, or is he a black belt?
I think he's a black belt.
He might be a black belt. There was someone I was really surprised that was a brown belt, and I'm like, that dude is definitely like the most elite black belt without being an official. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought it was Dustin, but he might be black belt. But again, that only tells part of the tale. And everything you train going forward is like just a bonus, dude. You've already racked up more experience than a lot of other fighters. So it's badass hearing how focused you are and how much time and energy you put into it, and obviously money. Like gyms are fucking no joke expensive, and somehow you have to also make money and eat and sleep. You know what I mean? Like
that's the only bright side of being in fight camp. I don't spend that much money on food.
If you're trying to cut weight, that's perfect. You know what I mean? Exactly. Do you have to cut weight for this fight?
Yeah, I'll be cutting weight. So last time I only cut, I want to say I cut like 6 pounds last time. Last time was the smallest cut I've ever had. This time I'll probably cut 8 or 9.
Wow. So you're a lightweight. They call you Skeletor, but you're walking around pretty sturdy as a lightweight.
So when I was on the Ultimate fighter, my first fight, I cut 13, and the second one, I cut 14.
Wait, your audio got fucked up.
Oh, so when I was on Tough, I cut 13 and 14 pounds.
That's like a baby, dude. You cut a whole baby off of your body? Jesus.
Yeah, those but I've also, I don't do the sauna anymore. I just, my body doesn't react well. Mentally, I think the sauna's broken me. Like, I'll go in the sauna for 5 minutes, be perfectly fine, and my body will be telling me that I'm dying. Like, you got to get out of here. Because I used to not know how to cut weight. I used to just sit there until I was on weight. If it took 2-3 hours, I'll sit there for 2-3 hours until I'm on weight. And like, so that is just like ruined saunas for me. I feel terrible afterwards, whether I'm on weight or not. I've had my body shut down, and I've missed weight before. My body just shut down on me. But now, you know, I do a lot more physical things, like another day training, just in a sauna for longer. You know, my last fight, I think 155. I was at pain. We were going to eat afterwards. Like, what are we doing? And everybody's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Oh, I feel great." I was like, "What's up?"
13 fucking pounds, dude. I'm like trying to wrap my head around that. That's like an insane amount of weight to cut. How long did it, like, how much time did you have to cut that?
So I started the day before the weigh-ins. So the way that DC had us do it is went to the sauna at noon. We did like 3 10-minute sessions. So you don't start the clock so you have like a good sweat going. So I did 3 10-minute sessions. In between, I was under towels for 2 minutes. And then I was done for the afternoon. And then I went back to the house and I rested all day. And then around like 8 or 9 o'clock that night, we go back to the sauna just until I start sweating. And then I threw on a sauna suit. And then I jogged for 30 minutes with the sauna suit on. After that, I laid under towels for 15 minutes with the sauna suit on. And then I took it all off. The first fight, that was enough to make weight. Second fight on Tough, I had to do that. And then the morning of, I was still 2 pounds over. So I had to go back in the sauna. And I made weight for the second fight like 5 minutes before weight.
I'm exhausted just listening to that.
So they bust you to weigh in, like, to the gym early to cut weight if you have to. So I was the only one cutting weight that morning. And we were finishing up and everybody was starting to come in. And they were like, "You done yet?" And I was like, "I got one more session here." So everybody was like waiting on me to start the weigh-ins because I was still cutting the weight. And we made it.
That's fucking insane. See, and you can still do all of that and miss by like a pound. Like, that's what's insane.
And like, and that's another thing too. Like, I don't give anybody like a break. Like, "Oh, you missed weight." Like screw them. But unfortunately, I've missed weight. And the first thing that these fans are like, "Oh, what a bum. He didn't try." Da, 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 da. It's like, no, sometimes your body just tells you to go pound sand.
Bro, I can't tolerate that if somebody says, "Oh, he missed weight." Like, what a fun. Like, bro, some people like years to lose 5 pounds. You guys are doing, 5, 6 pounds in like a couple hours. You did fucking 13 pounds, which I don't even know how that's fucking possible.
Well, the crazy thing about cutting weight that I've learned and I've tried to like mentally prepare for every time, you could do the same weight, the same way every time and get 5 different results. One day you could be on weight, the next day you could be a pound off, the next day you could be a pound under. It's just the way your body is sometimes.
And so you have to adjust every single time, which is
in
crazy.
the moment, on the clock. Like the worst thing for me is like 2 hours until weigh-ins and I'm watching the clock. I still got a pound to go. I go in the sauna for an hour and then I'm like, okay, I got a half a pound to go. I've only got an hour. Like, you got the clock on your ass and you don't know how your body's going to react until you're in the moment.
That's fucking ludicrous, dude.
Yeah, I don't
know how you guys fucking do it.
The weight cut's way worse for me than the fight.
I'll just fight. To get to the fight.
Yeah, I'll fight anybody. Cutting weight is what I get nervous. I hate it. I get stressed out. Like, I get so stressed out even when I'm close on weight. But it's anybody that fights knows it's the hardest part.
Oh my God. It's fucking blows my mind that you guys do that and you do it consistently. And like, bro, if the temperature is like 2 degrees above or below my comfort level, I'm tapping out. And you guys sit in a sauna for 10 minutes at a time, for hours at a time.
So that's my big thing nowadays. Is my big thing now is getting on weight comfortably and healthy. Like when I work out to cut weight, I put the heat on in my garage but it's not like a sauna. It's like a couple degrees higher just to get me sweat. That's all you need. You just need it hot enough to sweat. But some of these guys jump in a sauna and crank it to the max, and then you're just cooking yourself. And through trial and error, I've learned that.
And then you have to recover after that. After you cut all that weight, you can gain it back, and you like that's just like a fluctuation in your body that like is borderline abuse. And you guys do it just to get your fucking so you're able to fight, just so you're allowed to fight. It's wild.
Before the beating even starts.
Exactly. You're still gonna go fucking brawl for possibly 15 minutes straight after fucking losing and gaining, 30 pounds between the two. It's like, that's fucking crazy to me. And the fact that you guys don't get paid as much as like basketball players and football players is like the biggest mind fuck to me, because those motherfuckers haven't made. They just gotta go play a game.
Yeah, for sure. Like everybody as a kid is like, I want to be a baseball player, a basketball player. But it's like if you watch in depth like the NBA, it comes to a point where like the NBA is just a bunch of buddies getting paid millions to play a game. Like you lose to somebody in the finals and then you're at their house drinking with them 2 days later, because that's how the NBA is now. They're all just a bunch of buddies playing a game.
Seriously, and I love basketball, but I do not think those motherfuckers need anything more than $60K a year to play a game.
100%.
Come on. And like to see them flop when they flop after being like touched a little bit, I'm like, bro, you're getting paid millions of dollars to lie on the floor like a bitch.
Yeah, like, I think it's funny. I know like fighter pay has been a big thing lately, like in the media and stuff, and like even amongst fighters. I think there's a new wave of fighters coming up that know how to get themselves paid, and I think fighters are going to start getting paid more soon. Like I know the UFC makes tons of money, and I know that their percentage payout is way lower than other sports. But I also think that there's a lot of different things that they do. Like the way that I've explained it to people is like when COVID hit, I didn't get to fight until towards the end of the year. Dana had fights up and running like a month later.
Yeah, you gotta give him credit for that. He kept you
like you could complain like, hey, I didn't make as much this person as freaking Tyson Fury did, but you're one fight in the UFC and you got to fight 4 times this year during a pandemic. Nobody was boxing this year. Like Tyson Fury didn't make $1 million this year because he didn't get to fight till 2021.
Right.
So there's definitely little things, and I think the UFC is only going to make more money. I think that they're going to make more money within the coming years, every year, and I think eventually that's going to trickle down to the fighters. And I also think it's one of those things where fighters have to become their own brand. Like,
oh, for sure.
By the time that I am back in the UFC, obviously I want to, but it's not going to be because I'm begging the UFC to sign me. The UFC is going to want to sign me. And,
I love that.
And that's like that's what you need, though, is like, and I've done it with not just business, but with people. Like, I'm not going to chase you to be in my life. I'm going to put my hard work in, do what I got to do, and you're going to want to be around me.
I love that. And that's how you should be. There's no other way. And people can see through that fake bullshit. And, you want the real connections. You want people to follow you because you're worth following, which is why, and, you mentioned fighters having to sell them. I don't love it, but I get it. Like fighters like Sean O'Malley, can't fucking stand him, but I get it. I get it. He's doing what he's got to do to make money, but he spits on the integrity of fucking MMA. The dude won't fight anyone worthy of fucking. It's so annoying.
The only credit that I do give O'Malley, because I'm far from his biggest fan, is recently I saw somebody called him on it, like, why aren't you fighting ranked guys? And he said, I'm not fighting ranked guys on this contract I have. Basically saying, like, I'll fight a ranked guy when I'm getting paid more on my next contract. And for that, like, you can knock him and be like, oh, what a bum. Like, he's afraid to fight these guys. But it's like, at the same time, if the UFC came to me and was like, hey, Joe, we want you to fight the 5 worst guys in the UFC for 20 grand a piece, I'd be like, cool. But then we want you to fight Conor McGregor for 20 grand. I'd be like, whoa. Wait a minute.
So, yeah, it's not really Sean. I guess it's the how the system now how MMA has become. It's like,
I think a lot of fighters underestimate the contracts they sign. Like or maybe they underestimate themselves. Like when you sign a 5-fight contract or 4-fight contract or 3-fight contract, you should sign that and be like, okay, let's just assume that I win all these fights. So like if you've signed, say, I don't know how the biggest contract is, but say you sign a 5-fight deal, in your head, you should go, okay, well, what if I win 4 of those fights in a row and I'm on my 5th fight? Look at the contract. Like, if that number hasn't gone up, that has to be spoken about. Because me, for sure, I'm going to be like, hey, if I go on a 4-fight tear in the UFC, I want a little bit more on that 5th fight. I don't want to make, if I get in the UFC for 10-10, I don't want to win 5 fights and make 10-10.
I mean, say it louder for the people in the back, because you're appealing to the younger group of fighters, and they need to hear what you just said. Protect yourself. You are the fighter. You are what's making Dana money. So take some fucking control,
And that's something that I think that if that's brought about, obviously I haven't been in a room with the UFC brass to talk about a contract. I earned my tough contract, but I think that that's something that a UFC lawyer or rep would agree with. Like, oh, he's negotiating. If you do win these 4 fights, yeah, we'll pay you a little bit more. I think that these guys all over Twitter, like, nah, fuck Dana, fuck the UFC, they don't pay shit. Like, give me one other job where that's gotten anything done.
Yeah.
Unless you guys are gonna go on strike and nobody's gonna fight, I think that'd be dumb too. But like, just going on Twitter, like #FighterPay, like other like legends in the sport I've seen online that don't fight for the UFC anymore. Like, yeah, fuck Dana, he screwed us. And it's like, man, you signed the contract. Like, you signed it. Like, and I get it. When I'm broke. I'm not broke now. I'm not rich, but I've been broke, and I've looked at that contract, and there was a couple things in there where I was like, not super happy about it. But am I willing to sacrifice it to change my life? Yes. But if there was ever something in there that I was like, no, then I would talk to them about it and be like, I don't like this thing here. And that just is what it is. Like, and Dana very well could turn around and go, okay, then fuck off. And I'd respectfully go, okay. But that's something.
Dana's not the end all. Remember that too.
Like, and that's something that gets over with coaches. Guys hire these coaches, and I give him 20%, and my manager gets 10. I'm like, that's 30% of your purse. Like,
you're the one in the cage. Like,
yeah, you got to pay taxes on everything. I know buddies that had contracts that their managers got a percentage of their fight bonuses. So if you knock a guy out and get $50K, your manager gets 20% of that $50K. I'm like, no, I got that $50K. Nobody's touching that. I'll give you whatever we agreed to on the purse, but I got that bonus. That's mine.
Bro, we need to get you on a TED Talk, dude. You could change the way fighters, are respected, and how, don't need a flashy fucking manager, because now fighters are selling themselves. So you really don't need to pay, a couple grand to have a manager, and you need to read the contract and take control. Say, no, if I'm on a tear, I want this and this. Or, if I don't do so great, I understand,
And you got to learn from the best. Like, you got to watch all the older guys in the sport that'll tell you that stuff. Like, I, as a person, as a fighter, I respect him, but as a person, I friggin' cannot stand John Jones. Saw an interview a while ago, and he was like, listen, if you're dishing out 20 to 25% to a manager every fight, that guy better be getting you thousands of dollars in sponsorship. Like, they better be busting their ass to get you paid when you're not in camp to make that money worth it. If they're just booking you fights, your buddy from back home could do that for $4. Like,
exactly.
I tell people that all the time. I compare it to like a musician or a rapper that blows up and they don't sign a record deal. Same thing. Like, they could sign that record deal, but now they don't own their music. And 10 years from now, when they're getting platinums on the billboards, they make a fifth of what they would have made. And so, like, even nowadays, people go, "Who's your manager?"
I manage myself.
I've got plenty of guys after managing. I'm like,
wait, lift your camera up. I can't hear you.
I'm my own manager. I don't need a fancy manager right now. And, guys look at me like I got 10 heads. And I'm like, I fight for Cage Titans. It's a local promotion. I know the promoter, so I have his number. He texts me fight offers, and I talk to my coaches, and I get their opinions. They're not managing me. They say, I think you beat this guy. I think that's a tough fight. That's all I need, And I just don't get these guys like, I give my manager 15%. I'm like, what's he do? Oh, well, he manages me. What does he do for you? He has 4 guys in the UFC, so that means that I'm going to get in the UFC. Doesn't mean that. Doesn't mean that at all. So it's one of those things, like, like I said, like Russ, for example, is one of my favorite rappers. He blew up.
Yes.
He blew up a couple years after anybody else would have, because he took the risk on himself and didn't sign a record deal. And I read his book, It's All in Your Head. I read it like 5 times cover to cover, and it's just,
It's a good one.
I was one of the people that I was a fan of Russ when it was like cool to hate on Russ. Like 2015, 2016, like that was the thing for some reason. Everybody's like, "No, that Russ dude's corny." And now I got buddies sending me clips of his Instagram, like, "Bro, this song drops on Friday," and I'm like, "That's the same guy you were shitting on 6 years ago."
I remember.
Yeah, and he's just one of those guys. He was like, I very well like needed to sign that record deal. Like I was broke making beats in a built ghetto basement with a ghetto studio in it. I needed the money, but I believed that I could do it myself and I could make more in the long run, and now I do. It's the same thing with managers. Like, if you're good, if you're UFC potential, UFC champion potential, the UFC will find you. They will find you because somebody you train with, somebody that coaches you, somebody's aunt's cousin will have a connection, and Dana or Shelby or Mick Maynard will see your name and they will look into you. Like, you don't need the guy from down the street to take 30% of your purse.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy you came on. Like, the people we pitch this to, like, they need to hear that, because this is going to change the game. People are under a false impression that you need a posse and you need, they're fucking blinded by sparkles, and you're the talent, you're the product.
100%.
You're all you need.
And like I said, that goes back to, like, you don't like UFC pay? No, you don't like 70% of your purse. 30% of it's gone to your manager. Maybe if you had 100% of that and then gave a little to your coaches, you'd be a little bit happier with your pay.
And managers don't always have your best intention either. There's countless stories of like managers, harming fighter brands, and
100%.
So you take your risk.
Like one day I may hire a manager. It'll be somebody that I know is, one, going to do a lot for me, and two, it's going to be somebody that I've known for a while. I've had guys like in my DMs, like, asking to manage me, and I'm like, why? Like, you don't know me. I owe you nothing. You owe me nothing. So that means that this message is purely a financial standpoint. You just want the money that I can bring you. That's not interesting to me.
Right.
Like, you don't offer anything.
Yeah. I'll be your manager. I went to high school.
Like, I imagine, like, that's what girls feel like when they get DMs from creepy dudes, like, hey, like, let me take you on a date. Like, that's how I feel when these managers hit me up, like, hey, let me manage you. I've got 6 guys in the UFC. I'm like, okay, are you going to get me sponsors? Like, am I going to make money for having you as my manager?
Also, like, DM, social media DM, that's how you're going to reach out to me? No.
Yeah, like, my email is in my Instagram bio. Shoot me an email. Like, I work for this management company, whatever. Like, yeah, it's crazy. And even if I did sign a manager, like I said, they work for me. Like, these guys say it. Like, I've had guys like, oh, I work for you. What do? You don't do anything.
Yeah, you have to prove, and I feel like managers should have to prove themselves too. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
It's just ridiculous how much they get paid and how little they do. Fighters do most of the work on promotion, and they do all the work on fighting. So
100%. And unfortunately, some of these fighters aren't, I don't want to say smart, because I don't consider myself a smart guy. Some of these guys aren't educated enough, or I don't even know how to say it. Like, they can't vocalize things well enough to be able to speak on their own behalf. I have no problem sitting in a room with Dana or Sean Shelby and being like, hey, I'm on a 4-fight win streak. Can I get like 10 grand more? Like I don't want to break the bank, but like, I could use another 10 grand if I win this next fight. And like, I don't
want you, they're gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I don't need to pay somebody 20% to say that. Like, I could say that myself. Unfortunately, there's guys that, they can't vocalize it or verbalize it right, so they're like, I'd rather just have somebody else deal with it. That's your prerogative. But if every dime you want to keep your eye on and you want to make the most you can, make sure your manager works for you before you hire them, and especially before you sign a contract with them.
Absolutely. And it should be, a little bit more fair than just, I pay you a sum of like a certain amount and you're tied to me. Like, now you represent me. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm on you with a lot of managers are phony, and it's unnecessary. And this new generation is changing the game, and I'm obsessed with it. You guys represent yourself. You don't need to, you about to get murdered right now? You need me to?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if this is like a cop or something that just pulled up behind me. I'm gonna get murdered. One or the other.
I was gonna say, just put him in a fucking guillotine. You're good to go. Yeah. So I think more people need to. I don't know if you're ever willing to come back on, but I think your message is extremely important. Anyone who is looking to fight needs to hear this.
Oh, it is a cop.
Stay on with me so he knows you're doing an interview.
Okay.
I'll charm him. Oh, sweet. This is hilarious.
How's it going?
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm interviewing him. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm an MMA fighter. Sorry.
I got you.
We're live. Sorry.
We got a call that Natalie's just kind of hanging.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't want to do
it. 15 minutes. That's all I need.
Sorry about that.
He's fighting on Saturday. Watch his fight.
That's so funny.
Bro, that's hilarious.
He was like, okay.
You all saw that, right, bro? He just got.
That was great.
That's hilarious. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost got you in trouble.
I know. I'm glad that he was.
Imagine if he was like, "Get out of the car, please. Put your hands behind your back."
On the passenger side. That's why I was like, oh shit.
Wait, you're on the passenger side?
No, he went to the passenger side.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, I'd call the cops too. I just saw someone chilling there. That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
I wish I could. I want to know what he radioed back to the station. Like, oh, this kid's doing an interview. They're totally like, what?
I wanted to pull him in and be like, yo, let's get you on.
I know. Take a seat.
Let's talk to the cop. We'll fucking charm the pants off him. Sell a couple more tickets.
Oh, that's funny.
I see the blue lights, dude.
Yeah. Well, now the
oh my god, if you got arrested on camera, I would have felt so bad. This is
that'd be a cool story, though. I've never been arrested, knock on wood. I would not mind getting arrested for the night for that. He might be asking me to leave, though. Or he's realizing it's my girlfriend's car. He's like, what the hell is this guy doing here?
We got a stolen vehicle. Someone by the name of Joe Giannetti. He's definitely in the mafia.
Yeah.
Damn it, dude.
That was funny.
Fucking ruined a good time, dude.
That was funny.
It was funny though. I got real nervous. I'm like, oh fuck. Hopefully you didn't fucking steal the car, dude.
Oh, it's his dog. His dog's freaking out.
He's got a dog with him?
See, I'm the worst. I'd be like, yo, can I pet your dog?
You can't park the car though, bro. What the fuck?
I know. I don't know.
I'm on edge until I see those blue lights drive away.
He might wait for me. I don't know what he's doing.
All right, you should get out of the car and be like, yo, you want a feature, bro?
They had 3 cruisers. Two of them just left. He's still here. Wow. They were gonna get my ass.
Dude, this is a high-profile interview right now, dude. We got it all on camera though, so if they do anything shiesty,
right?
I got it. You've been parked for like less than an hour. I mean, what sketchy shit could you be doing, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just be like, I thought I'm not supposed to drive and use the phone. I'm literally.
Well, that's what I told him. I
was like,
I didn't want to do it while I was driving. He's like, all right, I respect that.
All right, respect, word. Okay. Do you want to invite him to the interview? See how
I know he should have. I should have been like, yo, take a seat.
There's 3 cruisers behind him.
I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe they heard like, yo, JoJo's being interviewed right now. We gotta go pull up on him. Yo,
I know. I wish I could have heard what he said on his radio. He's probably like, he's doing an interview? They're like, what?
Kid says he's an MMA fighter. What's MMA? What's MMA?
Oh, that's great.
That's fucking hilarious. That's never happened to me. I've interviewed a lot of people. If you had been driving though, you would have been in a lot more trouble.
This is true. You saved me on that one.
I can't sweet talk you out of that shit. That would have been horrible. I think your view on how fighters should be managed is brilliant. I think everything you just said is brilliant, and I'm just so impressed that at your age you've come to this realization. And this fighters double your age still getting worked the fuck over by the contract they signed when they fighters are quick to sign that contract because they see the shiny light. They're like, I don't care what happens.
Yes.
Oh my god, are you good?
Sorry, do I need to get out of here? Like, ASAP? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm interviewing him right now.
Yeah, no, I had to schedule this interview and I'm always late, so I was like, let me pull over.
Do you want to be interviewed, officer?
You want to be interviewed?
100%.
This is Joe. This is JoJo. He fights on Saturday.
Yeah, you're good. That's so funny.
What was he talking? Is he still there?
He's just checking my ID real quick.
Are you kidding me? Because you're pulled over talking on the phone?
That's so funny. I was like, do you want to get interviewed? He's like, I get put on camera as is. I was like, I feel you.
Bro, I mean, if we weren't live, I'd be giving him some sass right now. Thank God you showed up. Thank God you showed up. I want to talk to him. I want to tell him you're fighting for the title on Saturday.
I got tickets. I'll try and sell him a ticket. We'll try and make it happen.
Yeah, give him tickets. Then I can fucking give him shit on Saturday.
Thank you very much. She has a question for you. What's up?
So you should. I don't know if you're going to be around on Saturday, but this gentleman fights for the title, the lightweight title, on Saturday at 6 p.m. at Plymouth Memorial Hall.
Yeah, we were talking
You
about the
should
fight.
go.
Oh, no way.
I think my sergeant's going to it.
No way.
Yeah.
I've got tickets if you guys, Bridgewater PD needs to come.
All right. I got to work a double, but I think some of the other guys from their problem are actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
I better see you there. This is a written contract.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so funny.
Is he going to go?
No, but he said his sergeant and a couple of the other guys are going.
They better I got it on camera. They better show up.
I gotta find him now and be like, yo, which one of you guys is friends with the one that pulled me over?
Yeah, wait, what town are you in right now? I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
I'm in Bridgewater.
Bridgewater. Yo, the Bridgewater police have so many other criminals to apprehend currently, and they're coming after you for being parked. Are you kidding me?
That was funny.
Go get some crackheads on the street. So you're in Bridgewater.
Yes, they actually do have like a insane asylum here too.
Oh, I know all about Bridgewater, dude. A couple of my friends went to Bridgewater State. I'm like, yeah, don't tell people that. Just keep that on the deal.
I lived across Bridgewater State for a couple of years. I just partied as if I went to Bridgewater State.
That's what you do there. You go there to party. Yeah. There's no learning there.
Yeah, none. It only gets worse every year.
That's right. I mean, I grew up in Dorchester. It's not much better. So, that was hilarious, dude. They better show up. I'm gonna fucking. I'm like the FBI. I'm gonna find their badge number, their name.
I gotta see, like, if I'm pretty, like, most police stations have like a Twitter. I'm just gonna tweet out and be like, whoever the sergeant is, I'll see you on fight night. First beer's on me.
I'm gonna do the same thing. That's fucking hysterical. How many people are tweeting Bridgewater police? They're definitely gonna see it.
Yeah, right?
They're like, yo, I pulled this kid over. That's hilarious.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, we should have had him on, but you know, I get it.
I tried.
You tried. You did. You were very cool, calm, and collected in that situation as well.
Oh no, I'm very cool. So, my dad and my older brother were both cops. But at the same time, like, I've also had problems with like a cop being a dick, and I'm like, all right, cool, go fuck yourself. And he's like, what? And I'm like, fuck off. And he's like, you really gonna say that to me? And I'm like, twice, yeah.
See,
like,
yeah.
If I know I didn't do anything wrong and you're a dick to me, I'm gonna return the favor.
Yeah, that's tricky for a guy to do to another guy cop, just to like say, go fuck yourself. That's risky.
Oh, I've had buddies in my car that like hit me like, dude, shut up. And I'm like, no, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's risky. See, I'm charming as fuck, so I can sweet talk my way out of anything. I don't know if it's the same for guys, you know? You can't be like, hey, officer. No, it's not gonna work.
It's 2022. It depends on the officer.
Amen. You're absolutely right. It's very, very unwoke of me to say. Did he drive off?
Oh, yeah, he did. He just went off the other way.
I thought he was back at your window now. I'm like, what does he want, dude?
Like, that's the same guy.
I can't believe he just trusted you too. You're like, I'm an MMA fighter. He's like, word.
Yeah, he's like, word. Have a good night, bro.
I'd be like, bullshit. Get out of the car.
Well, it doesn't help. So I just sold a bunch of tickets at my gym. So I've got this wad of cash in my wallet.
Perfect.
And it was
in your car too, dude. I mean,
yeah, it was just sitting on my gym bag, and he pointed the flashlight at it, and I was like, oh, that probably doesn't look good.
I'm a stripper in my free time. That's how I.
Yeah, this is my side.
Yeah. No, you were really cool. I think see, you got a way about you, dude. You got a way about you. You're very real and no bullshit. The fucking 3 police cruisers pulled up to you, ready to crack skulls, and you're like, whoa.
I know, they were ready to rip me out of here.
Let's bring it down a little bit. I can't believe you took your ID though. That's hilarious.
I know.
He saw Giannetti and was like, "Yeah, we don't fuck with the mob. No, he's in the mafia." I'm still not convinced. Well, that was exciting, huh?
Right?
I'm
Get
just
the people
really
going
glad
real quick.
I don't have to bail you out of jail tonight because
No, thank God.
you would have gotten an ass whooping in jail. So that would have been good. You would have gotten some prep in. It would have been great.
Yeah, would have got a nice little free sparring session.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you know what? If you can take on jailbirds, you can take on fucking any MMA fighter.
Anybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. You were clearly fucking fully prepared and focused. And I need to have you back on so we can have an episode dedicated not to promoting your fucking title fight defense on Saturday, but I think the message that you have for fighters taking control and demanding a little bit more money and respect and having more control in the contract, I think that's huge and could change the game.
100%. It takes a couple of years of swallowing your own pride and realizing when you're not the shit to realize when you are the shit. Like, you know, because I was on Tough. I was a 22-year-old kid, like one of the youngest in the finale. Like, I get it. I've been there. Like, I'm the best. Bow down to me. But then you walk into a gym like AKA with Cain Velasquez and Habib and DC, and you realize, oh, I don't matter in the slightest in the grand scheme of things. So you got to eat some humble pie first.
Humble pie, yeah. I mean, you're a little too humble about it. It's good. I don't want you to lose that, but like you could be way cockier than you are with the experience that you have. So it's cool that you're.
I did the cocky thing for a while because I wasn't getting any fights, so I just had to like remind people like, hey, I'm better than you. And then I started getting fights again. And I was like, okay, now I can go back to being me.
I like that though. This is you're gonna find like much more real people who want to follow you for better than just all these fucking. You know, he's super trendy right now. I'm gonna follow him for a little bit, and then once the gimmick is over, you know it's over. So
100%.
Just change the dynamic of what's popular these days, you know? So I really like what you bring to the table. I love your view. I can't wait to talk to you more about this.
Sure.
Because I think it could be game changing for the younger generation. You're still so young, so these kids are still gonna look up to you and they're gonna be like, it's fucking way cooler to be real and, you know, honest with yourself and, you know, be your own boss than it is to just
like when the way that I've told people when I was a kid. So like I said, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'm going to be in the NBA or the MLB. When I was a kid, I was fully convinced that I was going to be like a pitcher for the Red Sox one day, like 100%. Like I was a lefty. There wasn't many lefties in my town league. I threw sidearm. I was just kind of like my fighting style. I was just unorthodox. And I was like 100% like I'm going to be on the Red Sox playing for the MLB. And obviously that didn't happen. But like I grew up watching the Red Sox like religiously and like post-game press conferences and like the little tours they did, just how professional they are. Like that's what I want MMA to be. And then just go beat the shit out of each other the next night. Like we don't have to be like buddies like some of these guys are because I don't like that either. I'm like, no, get away from me. But like we can be professional and like shake hands and like sit down and be well spoken, but some of these guys just aren't, and it's hard for the sport in a whole. But like I would love it if that's just how it was. Like we sit down and we have like the boring press conference, but then we beat the shit out of each other the next day. That's the dream.
That's the dream for I think real MMA fans. You guys are modern day gladiators, so there's no reason to act like clowns outside of the cage, you know. Especially with all
when the shit starts getting spoken, I will talk my shit. That's when it comes my way, I will return the favor. But if we can start off peaceful and just end the next night violent, I'm cool with that.
I like it. I like your style. See, you're very confident and you're self-assured. That's gonna get you far, farther than you've already gotten, which is pretty fucking far, dude. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for Saturday. I really wish you sold that cop some tickets.
He's working a double, he said.
He's working a double. I'm going to find him and he's coming to the fight. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Pitch your social media because I can talk to you all fucking night, dude. I really like your style. It's an honor having you on the show.
Anytime.
Fight Bananas is a big fan of Joe Giannetti from the mob. And you're on Twitch too, right?
Yes. All my social media is the same. It's at Giannetti MMA. 2 N's and 2 T's. That's what loses people. I know, super complicated last name. But yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Yeah, anything. Pick a platform, you'll find me there.
Hell yeah, I love it. See, you're marketable, you're reachable. And you have any shout outs or call outs that you want to give?
No call outs. I got work to do Saturday night first, and then we'll come back. I'll come back to you with some call outs after Saturday. But just shout outs, just thank you if you ordered the t-shirt, if you sponsored me, if you bought a ticket, if you trained with me, if you taught me anything, all my coaches and teammates, I appreciate everybody. I had a couple people when I left for California just Venmo me 10, 20, 50 bucks for like gas or anything I needed. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, after my last fight, I spend so much money on these fight camps to break even and have enough just to do it again. Every bit matters. I'm sure it's the same way for a lot of other fighters. Every bit matters. Like, you can go buy your Sean O'Malley shirt for $35 on UFC.com, or you can buy a local guy shirt for 20 bucks, and he'll get every dime, and he'll use every dime towards his fight.
Don't buy the Sean O'Malley shirt. I'll give you $35 to not buy the Sean O'Malley shirt.
I will say the Sean O'Malley Celtics jersey did look pretty sick. I wouldn't have paid the $100 that he charged for it, but it did look pretty sick. I
respectfully disagree. Don't wear my Celtics. Don't rock my Celtics. You have no fucking right, Sean. I get it. I'm such a hater. I get it. I hate it. But,
I'll give it to you. You commit to it.
Yeah, yep, I own it. I get a lot of hate for it too. People love him, dude. Like, people defend him like they're getting paid to defend him.
Yeah, like a religious icon.
I don't get it. I'm like, fight somebody tough. That's what I mean. I know he's playing it the smart way, but like it's cooler to accept challenging fights, which you have done over and over and over again. You have a challenging fight coming up Saturday. I'm gonna say it again because I'm just so fucking excited to be there. And for those who are new to Fight Bananas, I'll be there representing Fight Bananas at Plymouth Memorial Hall for Cage Titans 51. It's sold out. It's going to be epic. We have this motherfucker fighting for his fucking title. It's a title defense. It's a tough fight. I'm really excited to be there. It's going to be epic. The card is really cool. I'm so excited. Losing sleep over it. I can't wait. And it's fucking sold out. That's for itself.
One of my buddies, he just got into, or not just, but like during the pandemic, he got into beering brews. So he beered me my own brew. It's called the Title Keeper Ale. So I will have a couple of those to give away on fight night.
Are you kidding?
I don't know if you're a beer drinker, but if you are, I will have a Title Keeper Ale for you.
I'm going to buy them all. Just bring like a, does he make them by bulk?
They're free.
They're free? No. I'm going to.
Yes.
No. That's fucking crazy.
Yes, the Title Keeper Ale. I have 12 of them to give away.
All right. Well, you promised me one, so you can't take that back.
So I got 11.
I almost got you arrested, so we're basically family now.
I got you.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to drink it. I think I'm just gonna frame it and put it on the wall. But that's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool when he brought it to me. He was like, "I've got two new brews coming up. Pick one. That's gonna be your beer." And I was like, "That's sick."
That's fucking crazy. Does he have the capability to make it in bulk? Like,
yeah,
I could probably get that to some local breweries here in Boston.
Yeah, that's something that we want to work on. Is we want to try and take it to breweries around, have him brew it, give them the recipe, have them brew it.
I'm all about that. Stay in touch with me. I know a lot of people. I'm Boston born and raised, so I can get that beer on the shelf if you can get them to produce it. But that's fucking so cool. That is so fucking cool. Hell yeah! All right, you got your own beer. You almost got you arrested. You're eating squirrel jerky. What the fuck?
I know we got some good night here.
That's fucking awesome. You're really entertaining. I really appreciate you being on with me. You're star talent, but you're humble and you're level-headed. It's a perfect mixture. It was an honor chatting with you. Good luck on Saturday. One more time for everybody. Cage Titans 51. It's sold out, but it will be at Plymouth Memorial Hall. You can visit www.cagetitansfc.com or any of their social media for more information. It's going to be fucking just electric. I'm so excited to see you fight. So thanks for pulling the car over and chatting with Fight.
No problem. Thank you for making me pull the car over. That could have ended totally different.
I can't wait to get those officers on. So that's gonna be fun. And for Fight Bananas, this is Joe Giannetti. Goes by Skeletor. He's got lightweight title defense on Saturday. Just it's gonna be epic. So good luck again. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Have a good night.